Hey YouTube, I'm Jack Clark, the Musketeer, coming to you with another video. How are you? So, I know, I'm ever so sorry I haven't done a video in over 2 weeks. That's rather atrocious by YouTube standards. It's like I could have died and you wouldn't have even known. That's kind of weird. Jack, move on. You're making people feel uncomfortable. Okay, I'm sorry. But anyway, main reason why I have not been giving videos, in addition to playing Pokemon and trying to complete my Pokedex unsuccessfully, and of course being super pumped for Pokemon X and Y that will be coming out soon, I've actually found most things in Yu-Gi-Oh! Was slightly disinteresting. I've not has been as interesting as possible. It's not even that the new releases are uninteresting. I'm uber pumped for the new Lightsworn stuff. I've even got my Lightsworn literally by my desk right here. I am excited. No Vexicus, I've not made my bed. I am sorry. I just remembered. But anyway, today I'm going to be talking about the new promo cards that will be coming out in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal 3DS game that will be coming out, which is fantastic because ever since the PS Vita was named as the successor for the PSP by Sony, everyone was like, oh shit, are we going to get a Yu-Gi-Oh! Tag Force game? Because of course the PS Vita, as we all know, is a great piece of kit. Just no one wants to make software for it, Konami being included, which is why we've not seen a new Tag Force release. But of course, Konami has blessed us with a 3DS game, of course, which will be hopefully be localized for English-speaking audience at some point in the future. I'm uber excited because it means you can play it on 3DS, and of course they may be capitalizing on the fact that many people are going to be buying 3DSs because of Pokemon X and Y that will be coming out that I'm uber excited about. Let's get on target, Jack. So the cards themselves, of course, have got 3 new promo cards, and they are used by Anna Kazuki, who features in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal anime. So I'm going to go through each of the cards, tell you why I think they're good, bad, uninterested, and just tell you what I generally think of these cards. So first off, we have Snowplow, Hustle, Russell, which is a bit of a mouthful. But of course, it is an Earth Machine level 10 monster, 2500 attack, 3000 defense. Its effect is as follows. When an opponent's monster declares a direct attack, if you control a card in your spell attack card zone, you can special summon this card from your hand. And if you do, destroy all spells and traps that you control and inflict 200 damage to your opponent for each one destroyed in this way. While this card is face up on the field, you can't special summon any other monsters except machine-type monsters, which as a condition is pretty damn crappy, but it'll mean that it won't just necessarily be spammed and used in all sorts of decks, which it would have been if it didn't have such a condition. But of course, it doesn't mean that you can't special summon monsters at all. You can only just special summon machines, which is actually not as much of a condition as possible, but it just means that, well, machines have a new toy to play with, because actually machines as they go aren't completely under-supported. We know Karakuri, we know Gear. Chris, Gears are still getting support with a new duelist set in Japan, with of course the new Xyz monsters and such. The main reason why this card is going to be good, or well, I say good, but it's going to be used or like tried and toyed with, is because Machine Fortress is a thing. Of course, this being key discard fodder, so it's not going to be completely dead in the hand if you can't use it. In addition, of course, it is level 10, which means, of course, rank 10 plays, which is the entire point of these promo cards. Which means, of course, rank 10s have always been really quite annoying and bad to summon, simply because, well, there's not really been any really decent ways of being able to summon them. I mean, Meta Ion is a fantastic level 10 monster, but rarely used, and of course it requires your normal summon. And of course we've got Exodius, which is a monster that can be special summoned and is level 10 quite easily, but of course it resets your entire freaking graveyard, so of course if you've got relying on your graveyard for your deck, you're kind of screwed. In addition to the fact that the card itself is pretty rubbish and is only good as rank 10 fodder. But these new cards may be interesting to see what we can do with them. So Snowplow, Russell, Hustle, Russell, whatever the frick its name is an interesting card, and we'll see how it interacts with the rest of them. So the next card we have is Night Express Knight, which of course is a level 10 Earth Machine, just like its counterpart, but has 3000 attack and 3000 defense. Its effect is simple and as follows. Cannot be special summoned from the deck, and you can also summon it without tributing, but its original attack becomes 0. Its original attack becomes 0, so you can't use this with stuff like Skill Drain, which is kind of sucky, I think. I'm not quite sure. Maybe its attack will go back to 3000, not quite sure. But actually, if it does go back to 3000, that would be awesome. And this card is a very interesting card. The condition that it can't be special from the deck will mean that you can't do kind of the stupid amount of things that you can do with this card potentially. Like, I don't know, machine duplication. Which, when you're starting to release cards that have to say cannot be special summoned from the deck, on them because of the existence of one card and there are multiple cards that fit into that category, then maybe there's something wrong with said card. But that's a different video entirely. Night Expression Knight is a nice card. 3000 attack and defense, which is really quite nice. It can't be special from the deck, but actually it can be special from the graveyard. So if you've got a Call of the Haunted, you have a 3000 attack point beater. You have fodder for your Machine of Fortress as well, if you can't use it otherwise. But it's a very easily summonable level 10 monster that can be used for rank 10 Xyzes, which is, of course, their aim. And, of course, is made even better by the last promo that I'll be talking about today, which is called Special Schedule. And I've got to say, Konami, you really don't like me, because I'm trying to say these words. I'm trying to say these names of these cards, and it's just fucking annoying. But anyway, of course, Special Schedule is a normal spell card that allows you to target a machine-type monster in your graveyard with 3000 attack points or more. You special summon it to the field and face-up defense position. You can only activate one Special Schedule per turn, and if this set card is destroyed, then you can add a level 10 machine-type monster in your graveyard to your hand. So in addition to having an effect, which is just generally quite good, it's a monster reborn from the monsters that you would use for this kind of a deck, this machine deck, which of course has more than 3000 attack points. You have a monster reborn for that. Yeah, sure, it can only be used once per turn, but you're not going to really need it more than once per turn. The chance of you drawing it is going to be, well, pretty unlikely, so of course that restriction is kind of moot. But you also have a secondary effect, which means that you can set it, and of course with it, free MSD knocking about, and lots of people trying to overcompensate, and of course are siding extra cards against the back row heavy decks. This is awesome. I can't go wrong with this, actually. And of course with Night Expression Knight and Snow Plow, Hustle Russell, and of course we got that Rocket Express train thing. Maybe a decent deck which uses these bloody trains and whatever will actually be okay. Of course it will be only okay for like a casual means. This isn't exactly going to be a tournament winning deck, but it will be pretty funny being able to spam out, well I say spam out, being able to use Gustav Max and Sky Pass Gangarudai relatively easy, and being able to screw over your opponent by just doing 2000 damage or just destroying their stuff and doing lots of damage just out of the blue quite easily. And of course the fact that these have synergy with other machine-based stuff and are really pretty much generic is also rather lovely. But of course that's just my opinion. I'm not quite sure on these cards. Of course they'll be fun for casual play and as promos as they go. There may be some card they release in the future because Avna of course is a character in Yu-Gi-Oh! ZL, so she may get more support in future as may these cards become more relevant. But that's just my opinion. Of course in the comments down below as a video response, I'd love to hear what you think about these 3 cards. There will be links to the cards to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Wiki pages in the description down below. It's good to be back. I've missed you guys. And of course, if you have any thoughts or ideas, things you would like me to talk about that I haven't talked about in the last 2 weeks, do say so in the comments down below as well. And I will, of course, endeavour to get more videos out to you soon. Now that I know that you can schedule stuff for release, I may do more and more videos and then schedule them out so you get them on a more consistent basis. That's pretty much it. I'm Jack Clark, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Musketeer. More videos coming out to you soon, but until then, goodbye.